sequence. For that, we have a formula here. That's 7 equals R times A 7 minus 1. This is our formula for the geometric sequence. The only thing you need to worry about is just the R. Okay, in order for us to find the R, our formula is A sub n equals R times A sub n minus 1. This one is our formula for the geometry. So in order for us to find R, we have to find what happened between 2 and 4, what multiply 2 in order for us to get 4. Yeah, that is 2. Then from 4 to go to 8, what multiplies 4 in order for us to get 8? That is 2 again. From 8 to 16, in order for us to get 16, what multiplies 8? That is 2 again. So, from 16 to go to 32, what multiplies 16 in order for us to get 32? That is 2. So now when you see the formula, we get 2 all the way. It multiplies all the sequence multiplies by 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. So our R is 2. So what goes in here now? This is the formula. We are missing R. Okay, since we already found R, we have to put R in here. That is 2. So we are done with this one, so you get the formula. So I want you to pause your video to try this one. Okay, now we have to write the formula that is A sub n equals R times A sub n minus 1. This is our formula. What we are looking for? R. So when we look at here, from 3 to go to minus 9, what multiply right here? This is like R, it is multiplication. Yeah, when you find the geometric sequence, it is multiplication. So we have to find that the R is multiplication. So what multiply 3 in order for us to get minus 9, the negative 9? Okay, that is minus 3. Now the next step, you know, what multiplies minus 9 in order for us to get 27? That's again minus 3. Again 27 to go to negative 81, what multiplies that? Negative 3. From 81 to go to 243, what multiplies negative 81 to give you 243? Still is going to be negative 3. So now we have our R that is negative 3. So we have to insert it in the formula. Our R is negative 3, then A sub n minus 1. So that is the formula. Okay, still we are on to find our R, what multiplies to the next number. So our formula is AN equals R multiply A sub n minus 1. So in order for us to find our n, our R, we have to find from negative 1 to 7. What multiply negative 1 in order for us to give us 7? That is negative.
Attention teachers and students, we are now getting ready to transition to our 2A class. We're going to start with the D&E
So
100.
in order
We're now
for
ready
us
to transition at this time.
to get
D&E 100.
minus
Please remember the
49.
social distance when you're in the hallways.
When we multiply 7 with what number? Negative 7 again. From minus 49 to get 343, in order for us to get 343, we multiply negative 49 by negative 7 again. Then from 343 to go to negative 2401, that we multiply that again by negative 7. So since we got our R, we're going to write our formula. That's the only thing we are need to worry to find. So that is the formula is AN equals, our R is negative 7. So we write negative 7 here times A n minus 1, 7. So this is our formula. So I'll give you a few seconds to try this one by yourself. Pause your video, then I will come back. Okay, I'm back now. So the same way we do over there, we're going to try to find our R in here from 5 to 30. In order for us to get 30, what do we do with the number 5? Yeah, we multiply it by 6. From here to here, it multiplied by 6. In order for us to get
Now ready for
180,
the next group, D and E 300. You're
what
now
do we
ready
do
to
with
transition
study?
at this time. D and E 300.
we multiply that by 6 again. Then in order for us to get 1080, multiply 180 multiplied by 6 again. So if you get confused in here, what you can do is like, in order for you to find what it multiplies, the numbers to the right, like 30 is to the right of 5. If you divide 30 to 5, you will get the answer. If you divide 180 to 30, you will get the answer. The same way, like to the one to the right, divided for that number, so you will get what it multiplies to it. Now we have our R, so the only thing we need to do is we have to write our formula. That's A7 N equals R times A sub N minus 1. So since we have our R, that is 6, that's the only thing we need to insert in the formula. A sub N equals R is 6 times A sub N minus 1. Now we have something different in here, so we are
Next group, D and
given,
E 200. You're now released to transition at this time. D and E 200. Students, please remember to social distance when you're in the hallways.
now we are given A sub 1, that is our first sequence here, and we are given R. So since we are given A sub 1, we need So we have A sub 1, we need to fill up this sequence here. So we have our first one, that is 2. Then the next one, in order for us to find the next one, what do? We have the first one, so we have our R. So R is always multiplication, so we have multiplied this number by R. That is negative 8. When we multiply negative 8 by 2, we get negative 16. The same way to fill up this one, the number before this is 16, negative 16. When we multiply negative 16 by negative 8, we get 124. So you can use your calculator.
Final group, B-Wing, Jim, and
multiply
A120. You're
this.
now released to transition at this time. B-Wing, Jim, and A120. All groups have been called.
Change that to an 8. Change this to an 8.
Okay. Then the next one, we multiply by 8, negative 8. And we do the same in here, multiply by negative 8. So minus 1082 minus 1024. So now we have to fill up, we did fill up that. So I'll give you a few minutes to do that by your own. I'll be back for that. Okay, I'm back again. So we've been given that A1 right here and R right here. So since we have our R, that is multiplication, as we said before. So we have our first sequence, that is minus 3. We have to write it down here. Minus 3, our first sequence. When we multiply that by R, that is minus 5. Okay, when we multiply that, this negative 5 by negative 3 is going to be 15. Then the next step, also, we multiply 15 times minus 5. Is going to be minus 75. Then we multiply minus 75, negative 75 times by negative 5. We get 375. So that is how we can find our sequence for geometric sequence if we are given the first number in the sequence and the R value. It is the same thing again here. Our formula is AN 2 times A sub N minus 1, and we got our first sequence. Our first sequence is 7 minus 7 and R is 2. So in order for us to fill up this sequence, we have the first sequence, that is, what is the first sequence now? It is what? Minus 7. Then in order for us to fill up the rest, what do we do? Yes, we have to multiply them by 2. So negative 7 multiplied by 2 will give us negative 14. Then negative 14 multiplied by 2, that is our R. It is 28. Then the next one, negative 28, when we multiply that by 2, we'll get negative 56. So that is how we fill up our sequence. Then I'll give you a few minutes to try the one on the right side and pause your video, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back now. again, so we are going to do the same way what we did in there. We have given the first sequence, that is 8, and we are given the R is 3. So the first thing we need to do is we write our first sequence in here, that is 8. Then what do we do next? Yes, we multiply it by 3, the first sequence. So that is 24. Then the third one to find, we have to multiply it again 24 by 3. That is 72. Then what do we do? The next one again, we multiply 72 by 3. It is 216. So that's how we're going to fill up our sequence, since we have our R and the first sequence. So today, this is the lesson we are learning. We learn arithmetic sequence and the geometric sequence. The arithmetic sequence is by constant number add up to the numbers before it, and the geometric sequence is multiplied by the R, that is a ratio, so it multiplies the number to the left to get in order for us to the right side. So thank you for attending my class for today. I do appreciate Mr. Ramirez also giving me this chance to teach you. Thank you.
One thing real quick, don't forget, after you do this lesson, you do have a couple things to do. Remember, you're gonna do that warm-up. That warm-up's only 4 questions, very simple. You're already following along with the notes, and you're doing the 2 mandatory sequences quiz and the discussion after that. Like I said, the next couple classes are gonna be over review because we are done with the year. If you have any questions, please come to the tutorials or message me or whatever you need to do to get in contact with me, and I'll be here for you. Y'all have a terrific day.